Hi students, welcome to Bio100 Online. I'm very excited to be teaching this class. My name is Dr. Jensen. I'll be your teacher behind the scenes. Hopefully we get to see each other in office hours. But I want to go through with you the structure of the course so you're familiar with how to succeed. And I'll post this on Canvas and I'll send it out by email. And then again, like I said, hopefully come visit me if you're on campus or come to Adobe Connect office hours so we can meet. Alright, so here's the basic structure of the course. I'm going to get rid of my face so you don't see me the whole time while I'm talking so I can show you pictures. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is the reason behind why we teach the course the way we do. So just for a second, I want you to imagine yourself writing in a mirror. And here's a picture. You can see that this person has written their mirror so it appears correctly, or written their name so it appears correctly in the mirror. If you have a minute to do this with a little makeup compact or even in your bathroom mirror, I want you to pause this video and just go try writing your name so that it appears correctly in a mirror. And you will find that it is amazingly difficult to do. So pause this and try that. Okay, so hopefully you can see that that's really difficult. So the question is, why is that so difficult? I mean, we've been writing since kindergarten. Why is it so difficult to try to do it in a mirror? Well, most of you probably realize that we sort of have been trained to do it one way, and then when you do it in a mirror, everything is backwards and everything goes the wrong way. And the question is, what if I had put up this slide first and told you that really to properly write in a mirror, you need to realize that vertical positions are opposite, but horizontal positions are consistent. So to write your name, if my name is Jamie, then my name would appear as it does there in the mirror. Do you think this would have made it any easier? And you might be thinking, oh, maybe. I guarantee you if you went and tried it again right now, knowing this information, it would be just as hard. So why in the world can we not learn how to change our behavior so that we can do it correctly the first time in the mirror? Well, it's not because you don't believe me. It's not because you don't listen or read. It's because our brains are very particular about the way that they accommodate and assimilate information. So I'm going to show you these two things. This is based on equilibration theory. So to learn information, you have to do one of two things. So number one is assimilate. So this is where you incorporate new information into your brain that you've never ever seen before. So how many of you think you've never learned anything about biology before? This is all going to be brand new. Hopefully nobody agreed with that statement, right? Because all of you have been outside, you've all experienced biology at some point, and you all have pre-existing ideas about how the world works. So the second way of learning is accommodation. This is where you have to modify those pre-existing conceptual frameworks to incorporate new information, and sometimes that new information is contradictory to what you always thought, like trees eat dirt, for instance, is a very common misconception that's wrong, and we have to replace that. So this accommodation is very much more difficult than assimilation. So assimilation was what you did when you first learned to write. It was difficult, but it wasn't impossible. Accommodation is like trying to write in a mirror. It's way more difficult, still not impossible, but way more difficult to retrain your brain to think differently. All right, and so it requires that difficult feeling where you're frustrated, you want to scream at your hand because it's going the wrong direction in the mirror. And that's what I want you to experience as you go through this class. And so as a consequence, we use what I call constructivism. It's the idea that you're not an empty slate, just ready to be filled with knowledge. You have pre-existing ideas that we need to confront and think about and replace and accommodate. All right, so it requires you to not just sit back and listen and take it all in. You need to be an active participant in the course. So in this course, we use the learning cycle. We love alliterations in education. So this is the 5E learning cycle, and this is how it works. So the first thing we do is engage you with some kind of attention getter. And then we let you explore and discover the information. So we ask you lots of questions and have you think about what you think and whether what you think actually matches observations in nature, and have you sort of work through it. Then there's explain. That's where we help to make the information more clear. And then elaborate is where we have you apply the information to a novel situation. So research shows that if we don't have you apply it somewhere other than where I've told you, then in your mind that information only applies to exactly where I told you. And that's not good. So we want to decontextualize the information by having you apply it in all different kinds of situations. And then obviously evaluation. What would education be without testing? And so the structure of this course is that the first three, engage, explore, and explain, happen via a video lecture that will be provided for you online. After you view the lecture And usually they're broken up into smaller bits. So there might be 2 or 3 videos that you'll watch. After you've done that, you're going to immediately click on a little quiz question that just says, did you watch the video? Since we can't track your watching of the video, we're just relying on your honesty to say, yep, watched the video, but we need to be able to give you credit. And then you'll take a little quiz on the video. This is basically just testing to see if you got the information out of the video that you should have. Now, the first attempt, we have asked that you do it closed book, closed note. Just see how much you know. It'll be really good for you as sort of a formative assessment to see how much did I actually glean from that video. So you take it, and then you get to take it as many times as you want, over and over again until you get 100%. All right, so the idea is you can go back to the video, watch it again if you need to, refresh the material, and take the quiz again. Then the elaborate portion is done in a homework assignment, also available on Canvas. But this is where you're going to apply the information to a novel situation. This is much different than just regurgitating back the information that you learned in the lecture. You're going to actually have to use it in a practical situation. And just a big hint here, the exams look a ton like the homework, because that's what I'm asking you to do in the exams, is apply. You'll notice though at the end of the homework assignment, before you push submit, there's a helpful little tutorial excuse me, that the TAs have put together to sort of help you do the homework. So I want you to try to attempt the homework on your own, and then if you get to the end you're like, oh my gosh, that was so frustrating, I have no idea what I'm doing, watch the tutorial and that will hopefully jumpstart you in the right direction so you can go back and figure it out. But once you press submit on the homework assignment, that's it. It's going to give you the right answers so you can check your understanding, but you won't get to go back and do it again. And I'll show you that in Canvas. And then obviously the biggest thing here is if you don't understand what you're doing, please, please, please come see me or a TA and get some help. So we hold office hours through Adobe Connect, so you do not have to be local. And we do it once a week. The TAs will hold office hours. I hold office hours. There's plenty of opportunities for you to come and talk to us and get clarification on things you might not understand. And then the last part is evaluate, and you're going to do that through the video quizzes and then of course the unit exams that we'll talk about in a minute. And so this is a typical week in the class. The weeks are designed to hold anywhere from 2 to 4 modules, and they're set up sort of in days as if it were a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class, for instance. And in a given day, you're going to do the video quiz, you're going to do the homework assignment over and over again until the end of that particular week. And then you're going to participate in a discussion board. So you're going to click on the discussion link and you're going to go through the expected learning outcomes, which I'll show you on Canvas, and you're going to come up with potential exam questions based on these learning outcomes. So you're going to write 3 potential exam questions and you're going to post them to the discussion board by Wednesday, and then you're going to be in groups that are already assigned, and the rest of your group members will also post by Wednesday, and you will answer their questions by Friday and submit those by Friday at midnight. And then on Saturday morning, a quiz will post with instructor type questions, just to show you what I thought was a good question based on those learning outcomes. And it's just a little quiz that you should be able to get 100% on. You'll take it to test yourself out, see how ready you are for the exam, and then the answers will immediately pop up. Just go back in and fill in that quiz with the answers so you get 100% on your grade. But that'll give you an idea of instructor questions. And so you'll do that for the next week as well. Most units have 2 weeks, some units only have 1 week. And you'll do the discussion board, and then at the end of that unit you'll have an exam. It'll end at Sunday at midnight. And that basically covers the course structure. And so let's say you go in and you take the unit exam and you get an 88%, which is a respectable grade, but maybe not as high as you wanted it to be. And so you want to go back in and look at what did you get wrong and why, and that's when you're going to go see a TA during a digital review or an in-person review. You can come see me during my digital office hours or in person, and you go through the questions that you missed and figure out why you missed them. And by doing this, we give you 1 question back on the exam. And so if the exam only had 17 questions on it, 1 question can bump that 88% to a 94%. So it's well worth your time to do this. It's not required, but strongly recommended. In addition, it will prepare you for the comprehensive final exam. All right, so here's the schedule. It's posted online and I'll show you where. But in any given week, you're going to do a discussion board and then you're going to take a unit exam. This first unit is actually 2 weeks long, but because of the add-drop deadline and all the shuffling that takes place, we're making everything do that second week. And then the next unit has 2 weeks, so you'll do 2 discussion boards in your exam, 2 discussions board, and so on. You can see some of them have only 1 week in the unit, and so you'll do 1 discussion board. And at the very end, there's a final exam. So we look at the point breakdown. So those are the activities you're going to do to learn it. There's the discussion boards, unit exams, and final. Periodically, we will throw research surveys at you and make them part of your grade. This is part of our ongoing effort to improve BYU online education. So we'll have you take some of those, and you can see how the points break down. So most of the point emphasis is on assessment, so the unit exams, the final exam, the video quizzes. But there's also equal proportions on watching the lecture videos, completing the homework assignments, and participating in the discussion board. So make sure you're keeping up to date with everything that you're supposed to be doing, because all those little points that they add up, and so they can make a difference at the end. So now we're going to jump over and show you what your Canvas site looks like. All right, so now I want to show you where these physically are in Canvas. I'm going to go over to my internet. This is what yours will look like. So this is the Canvas site. You can see that each of these, if you always go to the home page, these are all the modules. And by the way, if you're a student in my class, you should automatically have access to Canvas. Notice the website up here. It's byu.instructure.com, and then your course will pop up. It'll be Bio100 Section 12 or Section 13, and you'll just click on it. Your Section 12. You'll click on it, and this is what it will look like. And so right here, I'll show you just a couple of the things. Oh, by the way, first, I want you to click on the syllabus and read through it. It's going to say everything I'm already saying in this video, but in case you forget or need extra information, it's all there. Grading scales, policies, all of that. All right, so going back to the home page again, always click on the home page. You'll see under important information, here are those expected learning outcomes I was telling you about. So if you click on this, excuse me, you can download them, which I strongly recommend, or you can look at them right on here. So this will tell you for every day, and I'm doing quote unquote on day because it's really up to you how long it takes you to do this, but it's sort of patterned after a face-to-face class, so a day would have been a class period on like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class. And so it gives you the expected learning outcomes for every single day of class all the way till the end. Okay. Again, if you get stuck somewhere in the course, just always click on home. The schedule of due dates, I would also recommend that you click on the schedule of due dates and you download it and post it on your refrigerator. So this is that schedule I was showing you before that gives you the due dates of everything. Okay, going back to the home page. All right, the next thing under important information is the video access on YouTube. So the video lectures can always be accessed on Canvas, but for whatever reason, a few people might have little glitches in Canvas, and so you can always access the videos on our actual YouTube channel. Here's Adobe Connect. When you click on this, it will ask you if you want to open it in a new window. You do. It will take you right to our Adobe Connect page. So this is where office hours will be held, and you can just communicate. If you have a webcam, we can see you. If not, we can just hear you. But that's where you'll access office hours. And then the last thing under there is the TA bios, so you can take a look at those when you have a chance. Okay, so the next thing, pre-assessment. So these are part of the research. We need you to have those finished by the 20th at midnight. And these links are going to change to in-Canvas links. So they're not quite available yet, but they will be in a moment. All right, so then each unit, so you can see here's Unit 1. The assignments are all due by the 20th, and this is just a reminder of when you're going to post on the discussion board, and that's for every unit that'll have the little reminders of what the dates are. So then you're just going to do each day at your own pace, but by the deadline. So let's say I want to do day 2. So I would click on day 2, and here's my video lecture. So if you click on this, and by the way, the video lectures, they were designed by me and 2 of my colleagues, one at UVU and one at UNC. We designed them together and we wrote scripts for these videos, but I'm a little camera shy and a little technologically challenged. And so my 2 other colleagues predominantly appear in the videos. So if you're wondering, who the heck is this person? He's my colleague and we wrote it together, so I know exactly what's in the videos, but it's not my face. So anyway, so here's the videos. You can either copy and paste the link and watch it in YouTube, or you can watch them directly in Canvas.
Hello students,
okay, so you're going to watch the different videos, and then at the end, it gives you the learning outcomes. Same learning outcomes that were posted on the learning outcomes site. Here's the learning outcomes you should have learned in the videos and the homework. And so then you click next, and it's going to immediately ask you, did you watch the video? So you just click on take the quiz, and it's just one question. Did you watch the video? Yes, I did. Okay, there's no way for us to track whether you watched it or not using YouTube, so you need to go ahead and click on that. Then you'll go to the next thing. The next thing is the video quiz. So did you understand what was in the video? And again, we're strongly recommending you take the first attempt closed book so that you can sort of quiz yourself. So it's just a simple quiz and you answer it, blah, blah, blah. You submit the quiz. Yeah, I know, I didn't answer anything. I'm going to fail. And that's okay. You can take the quiz again and again and again until you get 100%. All right, it tells you what you got wrong and what the right answer is. So it's really easy to go back. All right, so, and then when you get to the homework, here's the homework. It's also formatted as a quiz, but it doesn't mean it's closed book or anything. You can use all your notes, you can use the internet, and you can use a friend as long as you're being independent in your work. You can use a TA. All right, but you're going to take the quiz. Now remember, you have one attempt. You can open and close this as many times as you want and come back to it, but don't push submit until you're totally done, because once you submit it, it's done. And you'll do the same thing. Take the quiz there. I'm not going to show you that. All right, and then again, go back to the home page always. It'll just keep clicking through all the modules, day 3, day 4, day 5. But if you want to figure out where you are in the course, just go back to home. So that was day 3. So you can see for every day, that's what you're going to do. You're going to watch the video, say, yes, I watched the video, take the quiz, do a homework assignment. And you'll do that all the way until the first unit exam. And it will open. It's actually open now. Excuse me. And you'll just take the exam. The exams are open book as well, but they're timed for 1 hour. So the idea there is that we really do want you to study and be prepared for it, because you can't possibly look everything up in the 1 hour. So you do need to be prepared, but you can use whatever resources you have available to you, including the internet, to take these unit exams. But keep in mind they are timed for 1 hour. All right, so I think that is actually everything there is for the structure of the course. Okay, so that's it for the course. I'm really excited to have you in my class. I hope that I get to meet you in person or at least online at some point. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or to any of the TAs, and we'd be glad to help you out. So good luck.